As a quick little recording of the method I use for reducing noise in narrowband images. This is my recent image of the running chicken nebula, and this is the Hubble palette combination with HAS2 and O3 data all combined and registered. And I like the colour that's coming through. It can be a little bit harsh though, and that's often the case. So if I drill out, you can see it. It's nicer close in, but yeah, there's a lot of sort of motley noise and things coming through. If we're getting really close, yeah, you can see that a bit. So how do we deal with that? Well, one method is to use a luminance layer from the HA data. So that's what we'll do here. I'll also have a go at reducing those halos a bit too with a simple technique. Sometimes I leave them in, sometimes I like to reduce them. It does depend. It's not a mistake to leave them in. But to do it, I just go to the normal noise reduction tool in Photoshop. And you have to make sure the color noise is set at 100%. I've got the strength here quite high at 8. So we'll see. This is sort of before, and that's after, and it's definitely reduced those halos. So that's okay. I'll okay that, and that's reduced them a bit. This data looks quite nice, but to be able to combine it the way I'm going to, it's nice to give it a little bit more of a boost. So I'll go to the vibrance, which adds exactly that, vibrance, but it doesn't add so much noise as using the saturation tool. So use the vibrance tool for just making that little bit darker there, a little bit more saturation, and we'll leave it at that. Now, you would say that's too far, and it actually is, I suppose, but this is how we'll use it. So that's our color layer, and what I'm going to do now is select that color layer and copy it to the clipboard for use in a second. So there it is, copied, and this is my HA data, which has been registered and aligned, and I've been working with that a bit harder to get the resolution and the contrast in the sort of central area right, nice dark areas, etc. And at the moment that's grayscale. Now the important thing is to change that image mode, change it from grayscale to RGB. If you don't, this won't work. So we've already got the color layer posted to the clipboard, so now I'm going to paste it in, and there it is, and it just shows you the top layer. It says it's normal blend mode, and it just gives you that color layer. You can do this later, but just to show you what's going on, I'll do it now. And that is to go to Filter, Blur, Gaussian Blur, and add a fairly substantial Gaussian blur. I mean, you can barely see what's going on there now, but this is how you reduce the noise by this particular tool. So I'll leave it at that, and the magic happens when you go from normal to color blend, and that's what you get. So you can see the difference. It's a little bit paler and it's not quite as saturated, but there's a little bit more of everything going on there. And if I just zoom in a bit, you see that the noise is kind of well under control. So yeah, that's it. That's how it's done, and it's well worth experimenting with and spending a lot of time with the HA layer to get that really as you like it. So I guess can I show you before and after? Again, you probably prefer the before, but that was the before, and that's blended with the HA. So it needn't finish there. You can flatten that image from there and keep working on it, and often I will do exactly that. But yeah, it's a technique worth having a look at, and I hope that helps. Cheers.